If you're looking for a gaming CPU, you came to the right video. I will show you different CPUs that you can buy right now for different budgets. So maybe you're working with a tight budget, or maybe you want the best CPU on the market for gaming. You will have it all covered in this video. And also I will tell you what the max graphics card should be before bottlenecking your system. So it's also a no bottleneck guide. For that reason, I recommend you sticking until the end of the video. And in the video description, you will have all of these processors with my recommended graphics card and also the max graphics card limit. Don't worry if you got lost because you're new to this, I will explain everything as simple as possible. Without further ado, let's start. With the first one, it's a no-brainer, the best budget CPU, still the i3-12100F. This one is really fast for the price, and right now when I'm recording this video it's only going for 90 bucks. This is a CPU that if you pair it with the right GPU, you can play at 1440p ultra settings with no issues. And also if you're working with a really tight budget, you can use a 1080p GPU and get a great 1080p performance with zero bottlenecks. Now the max GPU that I would pair this CPU with is the RX 6750 XT, and if you want an Nvidia GPU, the maximum would be the RTX 3070. So actually really solid for the price. Remember, you're only spending 90 bucks and you can pair it with a GPU like the RTX 3070 or the RX 6750 XT, which both are really good at 1440p resolution. With the next one we have the Ryzen 5 5600, and this has been the best value CPU for a couple of years already. This is a 6-core 12-thread processor that will get the job done for 1080p, 1440p and even 4K depending on the graphics card. This one is not that much more expensive than the i3-12100F. Now the price depends on when you're watching this video because sometimes it's on a huge sale and sometimes the price is not as good, but right now it's going for around $135 and you get much more room for a GPU upgrade than the i3-12100F. On top of that, you get a better gaming performance, so overall is a much better CPU than the i3-12100F considering the price difference, but of course it's going to depend on the GPU that you're putting on your system. The maximum I would put with the Ryzen 5 5600 would be the RTX 4070 Ti for Nvidia or the RX 7900 XT, but the graphics cards that I do recommend you putting with this CPU are the RTX 4070 for Nvidia or the RX 6800 XT from AMD. These are both 1440p graphics cards that are going to get the job done for every single game at 1440p, and also you can play at 4K. With the next one we have the Ryzen 5 7600, which has a more upgradable path than the Ryzen 5 5600 because it's from the new AM5 platform. That being said, you will have a motherboard that will support CPUs from the future. This one is going for $220, and the maximum GPU I would pair this CPU with is the RTX 4080 or the RX 7900 XTX. One thing I love about this CPU is that you actually don't need an extra CPU cooler. You can get away with the stock one, so if you want to save up some money by not buying a cooler, you can do that. Temps will be completely fine. It's really power efficient. With the next one we have the i5 13600KF going for 260 bucks. It's on a 14% discount when I'm recording this video. I currently have the i5 13600K on my system, and that's the one I recommend you buying if you're going to do video editing because you get the iGPU on the CPU, but the i5 13600KF is going to run faster than the Ryzen 5 7600 and you get a better production work CPU. So if you want a more all-around, not just gaming CPU, this is actually a great choice. But remember, if you're going to do video editing, please get the i5 13600K instead, but trust me, it is worth it. With the next one we have the Ryzen 7 7700 non-X version. This one is going for 320 bucks, and honestly it's really similar in terms of performance to the i5 13600KF or the i5 13600K, and you may be wondering why is it here if it's about the same performance and it actually costs more than the 13600KF and around the same as the 13600K, but it's not as powerful for content creation. Well, it's here because of its power efficiency. This is the main selling point of this non-X version CPUs from AMD. You're going to be saving money in your electricity bill and you will be getting really good performance. Let's say you pair this CPU, the Ryzen 7 7700 with the RTX 4070, which is a power efficient CPU. Guys, you can get away with a power supply that's 550 watts, which is insane for the amount of power that you're getting. Just like the i5 and the Ryzen 5 7600, the max GPU I would pair this CPU with is the RTX 4080 or the RX 7 7900 XTX. The only GPU that I wouldn't recommend pairing these type of CPUs with is the RTX 4090, and I will explain to you which one to use if you want the RTX 4090. And that is the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. If you are not on a budget, you just want the best of the best, you don't care about electricity bills or anything like that, I would highly recommend you this Ryzen 7 7800X3D, as it's basically the best gaming CPU on the market. There's no limit GPU, and you will probably be able to run even with the next gen max GPU on this CPU, which is insane. If you have any questions about the CPUs or graphics cards or whatever question you may have, maybe it's Prebuilt PCs or PC builds, let me know in the comment section. I will try to reply as fast as possible. And let's say you're looking to build your own PC but you're not sure about the other components, you can watch my video about the best PC builds of the month. So I highly recommend you watching that if you are going to build a whole PC yourself and you don't have the knowledge to do it. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.